We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stutter and Craig. No, you don't get the 96-ounce Coke Zeros Blabs.
Yo, my androids, what's up?
And straight from the hood, Phoenix.
It's really enjoyable as an adult male to shit your pants.
And now, broadcasting from our homes around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. Oh, welcome out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com, and most importantly, SideScrollersPlus.com. What's going on, everybody? Good to see you. Happy Thursday to you. It is Thursday, right over that hump, right on into the weekend. Good to see you guys. Got a big show today. Glad you're with us. And of course, joining us, the always great, taffy-loving Blabs. Hello, Blabs.
You know, this week has actually flown by really fast. Is it just me?
I agree. It has gone by fairly quick, and it's been an efficient week. We've done a lot of good things behind the scenes.
Very stuff. That's all I'm going to say for the chat. Very stuff, everybody. That's right. How you doing? You doing good? I'm doing great. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Doing all the stuffs.
All the stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Someone who's always doing all of this stuff. Love to have her on. It's Thursday. Our crazy fox lady herself. It's Kirsha. Hello, Kirsha.
Hello, good morning. I'm alive, and it feels like I haven't been here in ages.
I know. I've honestly missed you. I'm glad you're here.
I miss you too, Craigathy.
Thanks. Well, you know, we're going to see each other a lot more because we have some events coming up together. We have next week's event with Mount Your Friends and all the VTubers getting together. We got it's going to be great. We'll get to that in a little bit. Oh, you're doing okay? You little coffee cough?
Oh, I just always have a little bit of a cough. My throat hates me and wants to be outside of my body.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I understand that. It's just constantly scratching and clawing, trying to get out of the body. Now, speaking of things getting out of the body, I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Phoenix, who had a total evacuation on a plane not too long ago. Hello, Phoenix. Straight from the hood. There he is.
I did have an emergency evacuation from my buttocks, but I'm happy to still be here and still all right. I can confirm, still have not pooped since then. There's nothing left.
Wait. Are you serious?
Dead serious. There's literally nothing. I don't know. At some point, there's probably an emergency. I don't know, but there's nothing. I am empty for life.
Wait, Phoenix, that was like 2 weeks ago.
Something like that. I don't know. And then we moved on to the dick cancer and shit. But I don't know. Right now, feeling pretty good. I feel empty and in charge. How y'all doing, panel?
Have you had any food?
Yes, I did have a little bit of food. You know me, I kind of fast a little bit, so that may have done it. And what happened was I had tons and tons of rice. I cannot emphasize how much pounds of rice I had to try to slow that down. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of just stopped my internal process. That's it. I think we're done.
Okay. Well, it's good to hear.
Yes.
Good to hear. Awesome. Well, fucking A. All right.
I will give you guys an update, though. I promise. If anything happens, okay?
Please.
You guys will be the first to know.
Can't wait. I hope to God that you do have an opportunity to go to
do a live stream. Okay, Craig. Sure, I'll do that. A live stream of that
on Side Scrollers Plus, baby. That's right. Speaking of Side Scrollers Plus, we got a bunch of good things coming up. I mentioned just a second ago that next week we have the return of our VTuber friends. We have Kirsha, Leaflet, Pickle, and VTuber Blabs getting together, which Kirsha, you just be ready to go because I've heard Blabs is a big thing for bosoms.
No, it's just for Kirsha's tits. I go.
I got special tits for Blab's eyes.
That's right. My eyes only. Everyone else can fuck right off.
Right. Maybe what we do is we put a bar that covers Kirsha's tits the entire stream, and it's just
that's my wife. Blabs. Let's go try to hit ice people.
Lord. Also tomorrow, Blabs versus Jump King. The only
tomorrow?
game
Today's Thursday.
That would be today.
Oh shoot! Today.
Do you know, we just talked about this.
I get lost in the day.
Keep track of his own schedule.
That I cannot. No.
Really?
Well, that's exciting. Today, after the show, everybody, Over at sidescrollersplus.com for all of our members, Blabs tackles Jump Kings, or at least Jump King tackles Blabs. Because I'm telling you this right now, it's the only game I've ever rage quit, and I am positive I'm just going to say it. I think we set a record today. I really do. I think we set a record for most deaths on a Blabs versus, and you can't even die in this game. That's
I think it's every time you fall, we'll count that as a death, right?
Yes.
Is that the idea? Okay.
So we have that this afternoon. Looking forward for everybody popping in and tuning in on that. That'll be live, and we're going to be bringing Blabs versus back to YouTube here in sooner than later. We don't have a full timeline on that yet, but we have shot I think 9 different episodes. So you'll be watching it live long before it hits anywhere else. So sweet. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Join the 136,000 just normal men over on YouTube and the almost 34,000 who have found us over on Rumble. Good to see everybody over on Rumble and the new Rumble wallet, which is great. All of the crypto being thrown around over on Rumble right now, which is great. I was also featured in one of their promo videos I saw yesterday for Rumble wallet. That was nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's good. A quick reminder that the Real Game Awards voting is happening right now. You can do it over at therealgameawards.com. And also, if you are a member of Side Scrollers Plus, you can also join for free and vote. Speaking of Kirsha, I'm sure you're aware that you are nominated for Best Content Creator of the Year.
Congratulations.
I'm the bestest, eh?
Well, you're one of nominated. Now, I don't know if you've seen, but you have some pretty stiff competition. It's going to be an electrifying turnout this time. As I don't know if you know this, but you are up against Asmongold, Legendary Drops, and Kaya, Hassan's dog.
I don't know if I can beat the dog, man.
Well, you're not.
He can.
Yeah, he can. Hey, bada boom. Hey. There you go. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to try to sway the votes at all right now, or maybe if you want to sway them towards you or towards Kaya or what. But however you want to do it. If you wanted to take a second to grandstand and get on the podium and let people know why they should vote for you, whoever they should, by all means, go ahead.
I don't know, because I feel like if I'm up against Asmongold, he would just win by default. He's objectively more successful than I am, so that just I don't know, it makes sense. But also Kaya had a ton of AI generated stuff, so that was everywhere online. She was so AI gen that she was just starting to become part of random AI gens. It was kind of nuts.
Amazing stuff. Well, I guess we'll see what happens when we announce our winners in late February. We talked about this yesterday with the Real Game Awards, how we are adding to it. If you come to the event February 23rd in Dallas, we're going to premiere the show there, and then we're going to turn it into a big ass competition called Video Armageddon. It's going to be awesome. So everybody who attends the show will also have an opportunity to compete and win the one of one Real Game Awards Video Game Armageddon plaque stating that you are the winner. So
signed by everybody too.
Wait, but if Kaya wins, who gets the plaque?
Well, the plaque goes to the winner of the competition, right?
Oh, okay.
Everybody who wins an award just gets a high five. Except, I will tell you this: we do have one other award on the table, maybe 2, which have not been announced yet. Should I tell everybody what the announcement or who it's going? Well, not who it's going to be.
Not who.
Should I tell them about the category?
What I would definitely not do is say who.
Yeah.
Blabs, what do you think about the category itself? Wait.
I would wait. We still got over a month to go. I think you guys start trickling a little.
We're vague posting.
Okay. Yeah, let's vague post here. Award. It's going to be great, and it was hand selected by us. So that's the only thing about the Real Game Awards this year, which we've done.
These hands.
Those
hands.
That's
those
right.
hands over there too.
All right. Well, look, we have a lot to talk about today. Obviously, there's a lot of insanity happening in the world. We're going to be talking about that with the reaction to the shooting in Minnesota. We have some updates on the fraud situation in Minnesota. Things are happening in Minnesota. We have the propaganda happening in Minnesota and online. and just how we are in two separate realities right now. There is it's just insane. We also today have a new segment that we like to try out that is simply called Hot Takes, which some may just say that is our entire show.
Yeah.
Is Hot Takes. But we're going to debut that a little bit later in the show, hopefully, if we have some time, which I'm sure we will.
Oh, yeah.
And if we also have an opportunity, I'd like to talk about the new food pyramid that was debuted yesterday by the United States government. Did you guys see this?
I did. I saw the South Park thing too with it too. Did you see that?
They already parodied it? Didn't it come out like
No. It's not an official South Park thing. I believe.
Oh, no.
South Park. That was actually South Park?
Yes, but that was many years ago that they did. Yes.
Oh.
So,
well, fuck me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah. Well, that's okay. We neither do any of us, which is
I
great.
thought they made it in response. I thought someone made an AI version of South Park in relation to the news. That's what I thought it was.
That's so weird.
No. All right, let's get into it, friends. We always like to start the show with a little bit of disappointment, and we're going to deliver it in a major way today. I can feel it. Blabs, are you ready?
Always.
It's time for Today in Video Game History.
Today in gaming history with Blabs.
That's me.
Hey, Blabs, what do we have today?
Probably disappointment. Anyway, January 8th, Super Contra was released in Japan in 1988. These are all basically all Japanese releases. Alien vs. Predator in 1993, and then Super Pinball Behind the Mask, which honestly, it just makes me think of Jim Carrey, The Mask. I don't know why. Anyway, that's released in 1994. Ta-da!
Oh
And in
my
case
God,
you're wondering,
it's so old today.
that is why she chose it, I'm sure, because of the mask and it reminding her of the film.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's what I thought.
Fisher, you were saying?
Oh, I was just saying they're super old games today.
Yeah, super old
Not
games.
a whole lot on the list.
Well, I'll tell you this: Super
is
C in the arcade. A lot of people know that game from when it was on the Nintendo Entertainment System. You know, I think that's where most people played it. I actually think the Nintendo games are actually better than the arcade games. Phoenix, what do you think?
That is correct. That is 100% correct. Similar to like books, like in movies, like 99.9% of the time, the book is better than the movie. Rare occasion, you'll find the book is better. And in this case, once in a while, the actual console release is better than the arcade. And Contra is one of the best examples of it. Like Punch-Out would be another, in my opinion, as well.
I agree.
Yeah, so Contra series, way better on the NES.
It doesn't, like, when you look at it visually, here's the thing. This is the arcade game of Super Contra. You look at it as, oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. Whoa, loud. Here is the gameplay of the arcade version of it. And it's very dark and grimy and stuff. And here is the NES version of the exact same game here, which, you know, bright, colorful. And the music also, when it came to Super C, way better, way better than the arcade. Like the NES sound chip was very, very good and made for some good stuff. So yes, old games. We also, in addition to Super C, some other noticeable games that you missed today include Operation C, which was the Game Boy version.
Great game.
Yeah, pretty good for.
Just makes me remind me of the board game Operation. So I was like, nah.
That's exactly
Understandable.
not what it was by any means. No.
I see where she's coming from.
See?
Well, it does say Operation.
See?
This is the right word.
Yeah. Override for the TurboGrafx 16. You did mention Alien versus Predator. Good job, Blabs, right there. Graham Cats 2.
Yeah, Trax is.
You're right.
No. Trax
like
is
Voldemort.
a hidden gem, just as a heads up. Have you not
Okay.
played Trax?
I'm not familiar.
You
with
got to
that.
play it. You got to play it. All right, that's it.
Well, that's it. That's all you had to say about it.
If you show some gameplay, you'll see why it's a great game. And like, not a lot of people know about it. And then there's this cult following that absolutely knows everything about Trax.
When you say cult following, do you mean like the third, like 3 people?
Yeah, like basically my brother, but it's definitely has a following that came after it. You find like in the retro game community, they'll talk about Trax a lot as being one of the better, lesser known Game Boy games.
I'm going to actually Google that. Tracks, one of the better known, lesser
one of the
Game Boy games. Just to see if anybody's actually said that here on on Reddit in 2018, somebody did actually say something similar to that.
Nice. That was me.
Good. Oh. Graham Katz, 33 years ago. I don't even know what that is, but okay. A game for the 3DO. In any game that's on the 3DO should be put forth because the 3DO is long gone and forgotten about at this point.
I don't even know what the 3DO is. I know what a Wonder Swan is, and I don't even know what a 3DO is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Phoenix, by all means, go crazy with the 3DO knowledge.
Yeah, we should watch the infomercial one day on here because it's fantastic. Like the 3DO, Kirshab, is like back in the day when CD technology was really just like in its infancy. 3DO came out with this console that was, what was it, Craig? Like $8.9 trillion or something. It was wildly expensive. And it promised the world. It really did have some pretty impressive graphics and stuff like that to showcase, but it just wasn't feasible financially. And it never also didn't have any of the big games that the other consoles were having. But the technology of it was pretty impressive.
Well, let's see. Kirsty, you watch this
commercial.
commercial.
Got a cigar. I trust him.
You watch this and you tell me if you think that this is something that you would have bought in 1990, whatever. Oh, shoot. For some reason, it's not playing. Hold on. I forgot the audio drop. So silly. Let me pull this up one more time. Because this, like I said, the 3DO was very, very expensive for its day. So here we go one more time, and bada boom.
You're working late tonight.
The passive type probably plays Nintendo.
You're working late tonight. I can't. I got therapy.
The aggressive type probably plays Sega.
You're working late tonight.
Could we try that with a knock?
And the other type definitely plays 3DO, the most advanced home gaming system in the universe.
3DO from Panasonic, Gold Star, and Creative Labs. Now $399 plus free.
Yeah, I absolutely would have bought that. I absolutely would have bought that. Holy heck!
Do you like
if you had the money? That's the problem. It was a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much money $399 was in 91 money.
Well, let's find out real quick because I think that's always a fun game to play. The inflation calculator let's just say 1995, I think was
I thought it was like 3 to 4, but I know I can double check for you.
Let me see. 3DO release date was in 1993. Okay, so 1993, the inflation calculator, it was $399. And we'll just say in 1993 compared to December 2025, which is not there. For some reason, we still don't have that. Oh, boy. Okay. The equivalent of $900.
Holy shit!
Of today's money.
That's an expensive console.
Yes.
And that may have been on, let's see here. I'm just looking here. And prices dropped significantly within months with some. Okay, yeah. So that was the sale price. Originally, I'm reading $699 to $799.
That's insane.
If that information is correct.
Why was it so much more expensive than all of the other consoles?
It's because of the CD-ROM and the 3D graphics and all that other stuff. And you have to remember that CD-ROMs had licensing fees and there's all that other bullshit. On top of that, they weren't going to be able to get a lot of the big name games that the other platforms had because they were their own kind of niche model. And so there's also going to be a lot of money that goes into making games and things like that there too.
It would have been really neat to see like a direct CD competitor to the PS1 though.
I think the closest thing that we had to that, I mean, that was later, was obviously Xbox. Was a CD, but whatever.
Xbox came out at the same time as the PS2, didn't it?
Yes, came
Right
out a
around
little,
there.
a little bit later. Another noticeable games that you missed today, Blabs, includes No One Can Stop Mr. Domino for the PlayStation. Blabs, are you familiar with this one at all?
No.
Of course you're not. 'Cause
Why
why
would
would
you?
you?
Chat, we're freaking out about Alundra, but I've never heard that one.
Well, Alundra right here. I'm for the PlayStation. I'm not familiar with it either, but I can tell you this right now, Blabs. No One Can Stop Mr. Domino here. Here's a little bit of sweet gameplay of this, so you can check it out for yourself. Look at the cute little domino man making his way through.
It's like retarded Katamari.
Yeah, at the same time, I get what's happening right here. Is that once you get to the end, it's gonna lay down and all your dominoes are gonna fall, and you're gonna get some sort of like big wow moment at the end. I can feel it. I can feel that's what's happening. That's gonna be great.
If
Look
you
at that.
don't, biggest missed opportunity ever. I'm sorry, did a woman just explode from her microwave? This became my favorite game.
Now.
And look, there it is.
Very progressive for 1998.
Yeah.
She was hanging out in the kitchen, right, making a sandwich, right, Blabs?
That's right. I had a sandwich for breakfast.
What the fuck?
The teddy bear loves the girl in the swimsuit. There is, we got a combo here, and now the little girl comes in,
Why
slips
are
on
there
the thing.
girls? Where are the men at?
This is an extremely Japanese game here.
Oh,
This
there
is
he is.
outstanding. Oh, yeah, there he is, Grandpa hanging out. Oh, summoning the mystical
the-
powers.
Is
No,
light
that's
coming with
Arena.
balls? Yeah.
He's powering up, bro.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. This is
right.
outstanding. I'm
This
sorry.
is the greatest game I've ever seen in my life.
What? Grandpa's huge.
Oh my god, it's like Attack on Titan Grandpa.
Let's
It
go.
really is like Katamari.
Oh my God.
It's
Okay.
just like Jaeger.
Phoenix, please find that game so we can play it on some sort of Side Scrollers Plus thing.
Done and done. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Excellent. Some other noticeable games: Sonic Riders, Zero Gravity was released for the PS2 and Wii. Blabs, that was on the Wii. Did you play that?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't play that many Wii games, honestly. It was like the ones that were made by Nintendo, like Wii Sports and Resort and Plays, or the Lego ones, or the Harry Potter ones, or even like Ghostbusters and things like that. Yeah.
All right. Anarchy Reigns released for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. And that is pretty much it right there, except for Anime Feet Boys. That's releasing today.
All
Blast,
right.
please,
Solid.
please
Actually,
look.
know what? No, because the last time I went and bought one of these type of games, I was sorely disappointed, and it was absolute garbage. So I won't be getting that game. No.
There wasn't enough hardcore, uncomfortable sex in it. Is that the problem?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it was
Yeah,
pretty
that's the only
shit.
reason you're gonna buy a sexy game, right?
Well, no, it was supposed to be funny. It was like that turn your farm animals into like anime girls and anime boys, and I tried both versions, and it was just shit. It was so
That's
bad. I
unlucky.
played it on my YouTube channel. It was terrible.
I'm sorry that the sex games were bad, Blabs.
Yeah, it wasn't even a sex game. It was really stupid.
I'm kind of amazed. I'm kind of amazed that Anime Feet Boys is like an actual official Nintendo
Hey,
game.
it's like the same picture almost.
I was gonna say, is this AI?
No, I probably, but this is a Japanese game. You can see right here. Are you breathing hard because you're excited, Phoenix, or what?
Yes. Boy, howdy,
okay.
am I? Yeah.
But a game like a game like The Great Rebellion is too controversial for Nintendo. Like that game, it's all about going against the system. But they have a game called Anime Feet Picks or Anime Feet Boys and Anime Feet Girls. Like
No, that's normal. That's normal for Nintendo.
the hypocrisy is pretty amazing. I do want to see what Anime Feet Girls looks like, and I would like to share. Oh yes, here we are. As one would expect, tons. Not just 1 feet, 2 feet here.
How come the man is gonna step on you, but the woman is just sitting there showing her feet pads?
Can we remove the feet before Phoenix throws up?
Oh, that's right, Phoenix. Is it? You're not. I
That's
forgot.
why
You're
he
not
was
a fan.
upset before. He's not.
Wait,
he's
why
just,
does feet
the
make you
horror."
throw up?
He's gonna throw up. He hates feet.
Because they're disgusting, Kirsha.
Why
They're
are they
absolutely
disgusting?
because they're the only thing on the body that does not like atomically look correct, in my opinion. I would much prefer, and I guess this is gonna get weird. I would prefer little like puppy paws, like because that's less offensive to me than these fucking gross talons that come out. These disgusting little appendages.
They're not talons. Are you seeing feet with like really long toenails? What the fuck?
If you
Okay,
guys remember,
maybe.
we shared that video of like that woman on the metro. Okay, sorry, just take off your
No, let's
headphones
do
for
it.
2
Let's bring it
seconds.
back on.
Let's take it off for 2 seconds.
No, I think you need to show her what it looks like.
Phoenix, how
Yeah,
are you gonna give
basically-
your wife, like nice foot rubs?
Take your headphones off for 2 seconds so I can explain this without
No, it's
you
okay.
throwing
Go.
up. Okay. Anyway, like there's this woman on the metro and she's like shaving her feet, basically like grated cheese or whatever. Remember we showed that video. I don't want to find it
Why
again
would
because
she
it's
be
pretty
shaving her
gross.
feet? Women's feet aren't hairy, but you mean
No,
you
like
shave straight
shaving
on the bottom.
like the calluses off at the bottom of
Dead
it.
skin. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. It feels so
Yeah.
good.
So anyway, we showed it on the like he's already like traumatic. I'm so sorry. Anyway, we showed it on the stream like months ago, and he almost threw up, like legitimately almost threw up. It was like bleh, bleh. It's like when I saw like the coffee mayonnaise video. It was the same thing over again. So I'm sorry, Phoenix.
We're gonna
That's all right.
have to like exposure therapy Phoenix into not vomiting when he touches feet, so that his wife in the future can be happy.
Well, that was always the great thing about having terrible eyesight for me is that when I went in the shower, I couldn't see my feet, so it's wonderful. It's a blessing.
Weird. What is the word for a fear of feet? Because that's what he has.
I don't know.
Phobia.
I would call it sanity versus this weird appreciation of them.
Footobia.
No, not
Footobia.
no,
That's
sanity.
Footobia.
You're saying
Okay.
that if you were at an Applebee's on a date, you wouldn't appreciate it if your woman took off her shoes and started rubbing your crotch?
Well, what I would do is I'd say I have to go to the bathroom and then just leave.
What?
It's
This
because you took him to
crazy.
Applebee's. That's why.
This man's. I don't think we can be married anymore, Phoenix.
Damn it! All right, well I'll have to.
Hold on. Just to be clear, what was the Applebee's situation you just threw down there, Kirsha?
Oh, there's like a meme. I don't know if I started it or if the meme existed before because I only started seeing it after I started talking about it. But like you go to like a restaurant that has like tablecloths, right? And like you're just sitting there at the table and like you take off your shoes and you just start rubbing your man's crotch over his pants. We don't want any exposure, all right? And then he gets a stiffy in the restaurant and then you fuck when you get home. You want the under the table foot job at the Apple Bapples, man. It's like a key cornerstone of development.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't think Applebee's has tablecloths.
They used to. Same with Pizza Hut.
Look what they've taken from us, Kirsha.
Exactly. Look what they've taken from you.
That's
Now
the
you have to
takeaway.
find tablecloths.
Oh my God. All right. I don't know how to continue from that outside of letting you know that Tamamo came in and says, guys, whatever you do, don't mention taffy. Although I still don't know what it is. Is it like toffee? Is it fudge? Mahong. Hi, Based Foxu. Happy birthday, Phoenix. A fine
Thank
day
you
to
so
you,
much.
Craig. Hi, Blabbers. Did you know that it's your husband's birthday today, Kirsha?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know it was Asmongold's birthday. Maybe I need to ask him to come to Apple Bapples with me.
That is the better husband to have. Yes, you want to date up a little bit. Yeah, that's a much better choice.
Are you saying you're not dating up?
No, I said yes, but you. I like that your husband is Asmongold. That is a much better partner for you, for sure.
No, I was saying, are you saying it's not dating up if I were to date you? You're kind of like digging on yourself, man.
Yeah, I'm having a rough day there, Kirsha. I apologize. I got to get my self-esteem up. I got to get my self-esteem up.
Jesus.
All right, let's go ahead and get to this next one. I'm glad you guys can work through your difficulties. Gus of the Dork says, the background T-Rex from the Minnesota events yesterday is driving me insane. I can't believe that's real.
No one's noticing that the car in front of the T-Rex is also upside down. Like it's an installment in that guy's yard.
Artemis Kane says, I've been sent back in time from 2074 by LinkedIn Resistance to warn of the uprising. China AI girlfriend Misa is in the East, is in conflict with the Finboy Liberation Front on the West. Well, thank you for that.
FLF, bro.
What did I say?
The Femboy Liberation Front. So it's just not the FLF, bro.
Miner says, Flabs, your VTuber avatar tits need an upgrade.
No, they don't. She's supposed to be a Gryffindor student.
They don't make it weird.
Like that.
Oregon of the name says Jump King should be played with a heart rate or blood pressure monitor. Also, hi Foxu.
Hi.
I think that's a good idea. Maybe we can implement that a little bit later on. Greggy Poo, thank you very much for the super sticker. Excellent. And C. Thomas says Blabs might have the Kirsha milkers, but we have the feet. Like taking silver in this foot race. Mahong, Munya. There you go.
Yeah, to further traumatize Phoenix, when I hit
yes.
100,000 followers on YouTube, I gave my audience feet pics, like real life feet pics, because Pippa, my friend Pippa, she gave her audience feet pics at 100,000 followers. So it's kind of become like a VTuber rite of passage that if you hit 100K, you give your audience feet pics.
Well, I'll tell you this. If we were to ever hit 1 million subscribers, Phoenix will provide feet pics for everybody else.
Boy, howdy, will I? 100%. Let's do this.
How about this? We hit 100,000 over on Rumble. How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
Hit 100,000 followers over on Rumble, and Phoenix will provide one single feet pic. Just like it's your right foot. And at 200,000,
follow in the VTuber footsteps.
That's right.
I will say that I think everyone will power up when they see them because I do take care of my feet because I find them so revolting. I at least want to make mine presentable.
Wait, so you get pedicures?
No, I just do a very good job on my feet because I'm just like, all right, let's.
You're saying that you take care of your own feet on like a pedicure level, but your wife would not have access to your powers.
No, absolutely not. No. She can admire my feet and she can sit in the corner and diddle herself if she wants to. That's understandable. I would too. But no, outside of that, no, I don't want to see her feet.
Pedicure is not the same as like diddling yourself to looking at feet. Sir. Women just like the pretty princess treatment of feeling pampered. And you apparently do that to yourself. So you already have the abilities. I'm so sad for your future wife.
Hey, I'm really excited because guess what? Monkey99 over on Rumble came in with a Bitcoin tip via the Rumble wallet. Hey. Let's go. Thank you very much, Monkey. The equivalent of $40. And we appreciate it. Hey, let's go. Thank you, Monkey, for some Bitcoin. Awesome. We're using that new Rumble wallet feature over there. We genuinely appreciate that. Let's stink and go. We do have that new animation, which is just wonderful.
It's like very casino animation.
That's the idea Phoenix put together. That's good.
Your boy Phoenix does need to do a little bit of work on that one, but we're getting there.
Good start.
Good start.
Dr. T.S. King says, just because Asmongold has a haram of VTubers doesn't mean he can beat the one and only Fox Do News. Kirsha number one.
It's harem. A haram is like the Islamic thing. A harem is like what Japanese anime has.
I thought that's what he was saying.
It's one and the same, really.
I mean, I guess some Islamic men do try to have a harem. They do have multiple wives, so I guess it could kind of count. But haram is like bad. It's like their word for it's not good.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry. Argon of the name says Tim Waltz threatening open armed insurrection wasn't on my bingo card for this month. Yeah, well, we'll get to that very, very shortly. Thank you very much for your support. Canthus says, speaking of obscure retro games, anyone heard of Todd's Slime World, Phoenix?
No.
Yes, I'm trying to remember where that's from, though. This is actually going to bother me. Well,
it was a side-scrollers co-op extraction shooter platformer that turned into a split screen when you go far from each other. Wild and fun game. Speaking of split screen games, real quick, I've been actually wanted to talk about this. I just a quick note. I played through Split Fiction with my daughter.
Oh, nice.
Game's fucking spectacular.
Yeah.
Like it's a spectacular
he makes great games. That guy. I forgot his name, but he makes great games.
That guy.
Listen, dude. When you made this game, you know that you made some gold. This game is.
Who made the game?
He's the guy that every time he's on the Game Awards, he's like the loud and outspoken guy that's always cursing and grabs the microphone. You know what I'm talking about? You've seen him a million times in that show. Oh, okay. No. Really, he makes incredible stuff. Brothers, he made Brothers as well. That was a big one, if you remember that one from the Xbox days.
I don't know what that is, no.
Well, let me just say, it's great. It's really, really good. And I would like to talk more about that some other time.
Thank you, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, give it up for JT over there. Anthony says, Kirshi's fans got her YouTube to 100K to see her grippers. That's right. We're getting it to 100K over at rumble.com/sidescrollers to see Phoenix's little feet pics.
Fucking concrete slappers, man.
Sigrid Gaiman says, Kirsha, a woman who wants an appetizer under the table at the Apple Bapples, a keeper or no? Asking for posterity.
I don't think you can eat out your woman under the table. That's like probably public indecency at that point. Like,
Listen, Kirsten, the rules are out of. We have no rules in society anymore at this point. I mean, like if you can just.
I guess if you live in Minnesota, there's no rules.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can just park your car in the middle of law enforcement, and you can stand in the middle of the road. Why not? Why can't you just go down on your woman in an Applebee's? You know, come on. What are we doing here? Phoenix is like, I don't know. I tried.
I tried.
All right. We'll get to the rest of your super chats, direct donations, and Rumble rants, and Rumble wallet tips throughout the duration of the show. But we have a lot to get to. So let's get to it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. All right, we're going to get to the ongoings in Minnesota in regards to the shooting and all that stuff. But I think
we're going to get hard
every day, right at 11 a.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Just wake up with a massive erection, right, Phoenix?
The biggest. The biggest.
All right. Before we get to that and Phoenix's erection, I do want to talk about just a few updates on the Minnesota fraud story. And I think that's really important that we continue having this conversation because everything that's happening in Minnesota, if you really think about it, spawned because of the expose that Nick Shirley put out there.
I think it's actually crazy that all of this shit has been kicking off in Minnesota, of all places, instead of somewhere like California or New York, which you would originally think is like the capital of degeneracy and fraud in this country. Like, I even would have probably said Massachusetts before Minnesota.
Well, they
may be better guarded and protected there too, though. They may have, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense, kind of that. I actually does make sense to be there if you think about it.
The more corrupt politicians are there because nobody pays attention to the middle of the country.
Yeah, they don't have trillions and trillions of dollars, not literally, but they don't have a lot of money to protect these things and other sources to kind of help protect it, et cetera. You know.
Plus, if the disease starts in the middle of the country, it can spread a bit more effectively.
Well, yeah, from the inside out, you know. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been interesting to see because now that there's been these small businesses, in quotations, have been exposed for all the fraudulent activity, which I just continue to point that out, right? Why is ICE there? Because there's illegals taking advantage of a system, right? So why are people protesting? Because the illegals are taking advantage of the system, and people want that to stop, right? Why is that happening? Well, and I just think it's important to lay that out, right?
I don't think there's anybody protesting the fraud. I think everybody's protesting ICE being there to get rid of the people doing the fraud, which is really weird when you think about it, because it's like you're literally being stolen from by people who either are fraudulently here or illegally here, and you're protesting to keep them here, to keep stealing from you. That doesn't make sense. How dare you, the far left, get me to defend the fucking feds?
Right, exactly. How dare you? Well, they are now going door to door to these fraudulent businesses and literally ending it immediately. You can see them going in and taking all the files. This is happening this morning out in Minnesota, which, hey, man, love it. Love to see it. We talked about when this story broke, last week. We were all, at least I was fairly black-pilled when it came to this. I was like, will anything actually happen from there? And I was like, I just don't think anything's going to happen. Well, guess what? Shit's happening. And that is a good thing. I'm very excited to see that people are actually doing
There were a lot of people, like, when we yoinked Maduro, they were just like, why are we going to a foreign country and getting their leader instead of focusing on fraud at home? And I was like, well, when they go into another country, zero, like, civilian casualties, no casualties on the American side. They just go in, they yoink, they leave. It was like under 3 hours or some shit. Clearly they had been planning this for months. So when we were kind of like despairing and being like, why is nothing fucking happening here in Minnesota? We've been talking about this since the summer, and it exploded like when Nick Shirley poured gasoline on the situation, right? Like, thankfully. But everybody was like, why the fuck is nothing happening? And I was like, oh. Well, like when they got Maduro, I was just like, oh, clearly they've been planning this for months. I'll give them a little leeway, but shit better start happening fucking immediately now that Maduro's been yoinked. And thankfully, things did start happening fucking immediately. So that's a great thing to see. It's not that we were forgotten, it's just that they were trying to yoink the communist dictator.
Well, in addition to things happening in Minnesota, we've also seen fraud exposed in Ohio. And to be clear, I've said this many, many times. I think that this is not a Minnesota issue or an Ohio issue or a Seattle issue or a California issue. I think this is in every state, every major metropolitan city. There's at least some fraud happening. And I think it'd be very ignorant to not think that, right? But Seattle has also been exposed as one of these. And there was as one of these cities that has fraudulent daycares and such. And there was an interview with the Minnesota mayor. I'm sorry, not the Minnesota mayor, the Seattle mayor, who looks exactly like you'd expect her to look. And she was asked if she was going to be looking into any daycare fraud in Seattle. Here is what.
She is also like a self-admitted socialist as well. So
Yes.
Okay. Well, they had this to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fear in the Somali community is real. The fear in immigrant communities are real, so we're taking that very seriously.
Along those lines, have you asked anyone to follow up on the fraud claims, either to the Department of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs or SPD?
No. Yeah, I mean,
she was almost shocked that he would ask that. Like, why would you even suggest I would do such a racist thing? What a crazy bitch.
I'm amazed. They're like, no, yeah, you're 100% right. Why would you ask such a racist question of me, you horrible man who are part of the patriarchy? You can see her, just the audacity that he would ask her those things. So look, hey, if you're looking to, if you live up in Seattle or Northwestern Washington, and you're looking for your tax dollars to go to good causes, they'll be happening. Or if you're Somali, over in Minnesota, just make your way up to
There's no
Washington.
Somalians watching this podcast, Craig.
Well, you're right.
I identify as Somalian.
What's that, Blatch?
I identify as a Somalian.
You can't do that, Blatch.
Why
you
not?
can't do that.
If they can identify like the freaking genders and immigration and everything, why can't I?
Good point.
I think the one thing that we need to do, because we want to see the mass deportations, we want to see the people in power being held accountable, right? Activist judges need to go. We need to start getting rid of judges that keep letting people off, because we've had 3, I believe, white women Minnesota judges who have let off some of the Somalians from their fraud charges.
Well, the fraud and the expose that Shirley did, to be clear, once again, he just put a magnifying glass on it. This is something that's been talked about for a while. It trickled down to where, once again, you have the exposure of all this happening. Then you have the government saying, we're going to do something about it. And we're going to send ICE into the situation, which saw another Nick Sorter, do after the whole Hilton thing. If you recall, Hilton a few days ago had a little brouhaha as one of their licensees or franchisees went out and said they're not going to be taking in any ICE agents or anyone from the federal government, right?
I saw that, and it turns out that the franchise location was entirely run by Indians, not Feather.
Yes.
And then Hilton revoked their privileges for Hilton signing, and the sign actually came off of that hotel yesterday.
Correct. That's exactly where I was going with this. They literally went, and this is the type of action that you'd expect a big corporation to be able to do, where they're like, yeah, we ain't doing that shit.
Yeah, they're just like, fuck you guys. How dare you besmirch our name?
Yeah, I love to see that. And it's cool. And I think that's one of the things that we talked about this a couple days ago. The idea of Bud Light several years ago, that set a precedent when it came to the action that people are just fucking done with it. Now, if your company is going to be a Bud Light, it's like a verb, right? And I think Hilton very quickly saw what was happening, and they're like, yo, we don't want that to happen. That's a horrible idea. And to see action this quickly, where just a few days ago, this was on January 5th that happened, and what we were just a few days later, the sign is coming down. that effectively put that place out of business because they fucked around and they found out. And I love that. I think that's really, really great to see. So fucking A, love that. Congratulations to Hilton, of all things, for swift action when it comes to all this. So
yeah, consider going to Hilton and reward them. We want to reward them for this,
I'm a
for
Hilton
being sane.
Honors member.
Are you?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
There you go. Nice. That's awesome. I do agree. Like when you see a company that actually goes in and does something about it, fucking A. Yeah, great stuff.
I would also recommend if you do stay at a Hilton hotel, stay at a DoubleTree. Each Hilton property has something specific to that property. So Hampton has something specific to them. DoubleTree has something specific to them, home suites or whatever they're called. DoubleTree specificity is at their front desk. They actually have warming drawers in the front desk.
Cookies.
And they have giant cookies inside the front desk. And you can go down there and get as many cookies as you want. Like, if you're high out of your fucking brain and you go down there at 2 a.m., they'll just give you 5 cookies.
You're not wrong. I've done it. Not the high part, but you go up and by the way, they're fucking delicious.
They're so fucking good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like
Do you
when
have lunchies right now, Kirsha?
No, I'm not high right now.
Okay, just checking.
By the way, I do appreciate one day Kirsha was she was talking about when she was high on her show and nobody had any idea, which was great. I love that. That was really, really funny.
Well, not the one time, but one time I wasn't high. They thought I was.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, anyways, yeah, when I say those cookies are great, I'm talking top 5 cookie all time.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Wow.
Yeah. I've had a lot of cookies in my day, just to point out. So
occasionally when I've been driving around and I see a DoubleTree, I'm like, do you think we could just go in and ask for a cookie? Just they wouldn't ask if we're staying there, right? Speaking of which, have you heard about the fraud in Maine? Because I've been hammering on about Somalian fraud in Maine since the major focus has been on Minnesota. And HHS or whatever, they did announce that they're going to be investigating Maine as well as Minnesota. So they announced that at the same time. And I was like, thank God something's happening in Maine. Because it feels like everyone's ignoring the Somalian fraud in Maine. And it's actually fucking crazy. Right. The fraud in Minnesota, very bad, very huge. Obviously, politicians are complicit. There's no way the Somalian community could have done this entirely help on their own. But in Maine, one of the guys perpetrating fraud is a Somalian national who was using Maine Medicare funds in order to fund his bid for warlord of Jubaland, which is a place inside Somalia, apparently. And it got so bad that, when the Jubaland press was reporting on how he was stealing American tax money to fund militia in Jubaland, people who were writing journalists for the Jubaland press were getting, death threats and being told that, they're going to be murdered.
Yeah, so we did actually talk about Jubaland yesterday, and
hell yeah,
and we did. There was a guy who showed up, and he pretty much at the council meeting was like, "Hey, listen, you best not look into this a little bit further." Pretty much, he said that.
Yeah, it's all threats, and it's the Maine Wire, I believe, is the newspaper I've been reading from. The Maine Wire has been the main place reporting all of this. And here's a link to one of their papers from I believe March last year. Yeah, March. There's a video pretty early up in the article that's kind of wild that shows what the guy who is in Maine defrauding Maine Care is making his little propaganda militia videos and shit.
Wow, should we take a look at this?
Yeah.
I'm good.
you know, Somali propaganda music.
That was quite the bop.
Blabs is literally bopping back and forth right there. Here, let's see if we can
I don't think you can get DMCA'd from that, though.
Yeah, I do wonder about that. But yeah, so he's making his way through. Here we go. Let's see what he had to say.
He speaks the Wi-Fi password too.
He does.
All right, there we go. Okay, so yes, bad people doing bad things, taking your money and putting it somewhere else. Awesome, great. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is not a Minnesota issue. This is not a California. This is everywhere, even fucking Maine.
And it makes you wonder, how is it literally everywhere? How is it that everywhere that Somalians happen to go in the United States, they just start doing fraud?
I think word travels quick. I'm curious, how many people live in Somalia? Like legitimately,
there's none left there. They all came here.
They've all made their way to Minnesota right here.
Akon's actually doing another real estate project there since everyone left.
According to World Meter of 2025, it's like 19 million.
Okay, so there's 19. In America. Let's find out how many Somalians there are in America, because that's intriguing to me. Okay.
91,000 in Minnesota, 221,000 nationwide Somalis in the USA.
So there's only 221,000 people, Somalians, and like 90% of the fraud in Minnesota is being committed by this group of people. Like, I got to be honest, like the entire population of the United States is what, 330 million, and this fraud is being allegedly happening because of 220,000, a group of 220,000 people. Once again, not all of them, but just some of them, right? You should probably look at your immigration rules when it comes to people immigrating from Somalia. If such a small percentage of people of the entire population is causing such a mess.
Well, this is also like the reported numbers as well, right? How many here are illegal on top of that? And once again, I don't think that this wide-scale fraud and stealing billions of dollars could happen without facilitation from the local governments and from other local people, possibly working with like nonprofits or NGOs. And I don't really exactly know why, other than like the politicians, they just want to buy votes and they want to be in power. They don't actually care about anyone, really. And they're probably getting kickback, so it fills their own wallets as well. The other people who are facilitating this, like that woman who was dating the guy named Empress, I can't even try and figure out what her state of mind is for wanting to do this shit, other than I want to buy my boyfriend nice things with other people's money. Like, it's just such an incredibly selfish attitude.
Everything about this, it goes back to Phoenix. You talked about this yesterday, the narcissism attitude. Everything's about me. It's not about us. And the irony of all that is that this is a group of people that have a collectivist ideal. This idea of the land is stolen. It belongs to everybody except for when I need something, right? Which is the problem with the whole ideology.
And it makes me wonder that, like, if a lot of these people protesting ICE getting rid of the Somalians committing the fraud are seeing the fraud the Somalians are committing and being like, that's not fraud. That would be communism if we're a functioning country, and I deserve some of that, and ICE is trying to ruin it. We could all be partaking in all of this money that the Somalians are getting if only we didn't have to deal with rule of law and shit.
If only. Yes. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next little part of this story. Thank you guys very much for your support. Let me get to a quick super chat. Actually, from Miko Unknown says, rare time I get to catch a live instead of VOD. I got to ask Foxu, if you could go back knowing everything you know, would you have just put the soup in the cart?
I feel like I would not have bought Campbell's soup if I had known what I know now about Campbell's back in the day. Like, their soup was good. Apparently now it's filled with, like, 3D printed sloppa. I don't know. That guy got fired, but it was still weird. But, yeah, no, I probably would have stopped buying them a lot sooner if I had known.
You think they're actually, like, 3D printing chicken?
Well, yeah, there was that guy that worked for them. I can't remember what his position was, but he was just like, our soup is shit. It's for poor people, and we literally 3D print meat or something. I was like, why would you say that? Like, even if it's true, why would you say that?
Right. Internet Zen Master says, the Seattle mayor, as a Washingtonian, I hate Katie Wilson so much. There's definitely something sus with her, and the Somali daycares up here, and refusing to investigate is willful blindness.
Refusing to investigate just makes me think like you are absolutely complicit in this, and there's nothing you can say that would make me think otherwise.
I agree. C. Thomas says, to quote habitual line crosser, it's looking like it's the year of the yoinkening.
We need to yoink more commies.
Well, that's happening this morning, which we'll take a look at. Speedy Cake says, saw a vid last night about a crazy lady on the ISS who wants to go home 1 month into the 12-month job. She broke the toilets and had been shitting everywhere, supposedly, and yeeted 2 tool sets to void.
Wait, has this happened again? Because that happened last year or 2 years ago. There was a lady that just freaked out. And then after the lady freaked out and she was finally removed from the space station, they had another incident where somebody was physically assaulting the people there.
Good question. I don't know. I haven't heard this about the space stories lately. We need to cover more space on the show.
I was unless it happened again, that's an old story. And I've been having this issue on Twitter recently where so many accounts are posting old things and not saying they're old things. So they're pretending like they're a new event. And it's incredibly frustrating to try and find actual new events when people just keep reposting old ones as if they were new.
Something that is new is Monkey came back with another Bitcoin tip, $25 US in Bitcoin. Hey, on the Rumble wallet. What a nice animation that is. Thank you. Thank you, Monkey. Really appreciate that support with all the crypto and all that good stuff. Thank you, Monkey. That's outstanding.
Help.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, just a hiccup.
Woo.
Did you just hiccup and then scream help?
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's great.
All right. Let's talk about the reaction to the Minnesota shooting. We've all seen the videos. We've all seen all the angles. We've seen it broken down in all sorts of ways. And honestly, everybody pretty much has their own thoughts on it. And, I think that's the most fascinating thing about this is that you can show that video to 10,000 people, and you can pretty much have a pretty good idea of how they're going to think about it based off of how they vote or where they live.
Unfortunately.
That's the saddest thing about this, right? Well, it's been a lot of chaos in Minnesota. Obviously, the last few weeks, it's escalating right now. And because of that chaos, I don't know if you saw this, but Minneapolis actually canceled school and activities today because of safety concerns. I'm not quite sure what those safety concerns were. And as you can see, Nick Shirley says, so no leering. No leering happening in Minnesota today, unfortunately, which I think is kind of amazing to see that they are so shook by this up in Minnesota that they're just not even going to bring kids to school.
I think the funny thing is that it's not violence from ICE they have to worry about. It's violence from the people, quote unquote, protesting ICE that would be the worry. Right. Because nothing says tolerant by being incredibly violent. Yeah. But what about I want to talk about the reaction from folks on X, some quote unquote celebrities, but also the response from the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association. We're going to talk about their response, their actual physical response in a bit, but at least publicly. By the way, real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt real fast. Kirsha, do you think that maybe that's a political move? That's a question. It's not a statement. As far as the school shutting down, it kind of sheds more. It's like the January 6th thing, how they overplay that. It's just making it really this terrifying thing that's happening to them politically. Do you think that that's a political move, or do you think it's kind of what you were saying in that they're just a little afraid of maybe their own people's violence? I think that the actual reason for shutting it down is being afraid of the violence from the left, because they are the ones that perpetrate the violence. However, I think it is a double-pronged thing where when they shut down the schools, they can then claim that it's worrying because we have so much violence coming from ICE. We have the violence being inflamed by the president sending ICE here. We're not safe here. You're not safe here. And they can further inflame these retards to put their lives in danger by going after the ICE agents. Because this isn't the first time it happened. And apparently the ICE agent that got hit by the car this time was previously hit by a car. And then I can also remember another one in Chicago where some lady rammed her car into the ICE agents' vehicles and tried shooting at them. She got shot. And then she went to the hospital. And my first thought was why didn't they detain her? What the fuck?
I think that's been the most underplayed part of this story is that you've got a guy who was literally drugged by another car, right? So in a separate incident back in the summer, the same exact agent was hit by a car. So how do you, like, once again, fool me once, shame on me, right? Fool me twice. Like, at a certain point, pardon the pun, you're not going to be so gun shy this time.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So I think that's the thing that not enough people are talking about. I guarantee that narrative is not being pushed or even talked about when it comes to left-leaning circles or anything major news outlet out there, traditional media. That to me was probably the most eye-opening thing. That was like, oh wow, that's crazy. So back to the statement from the Minneapolis Police and Peace Officers Association. They pretty much said, hey man, we stand firmly behind law enforcement officers, accountability under the law, and safety for every Minnesota community. Irresponsible, reckless rhetoric from political leaders attacking law enforcement has real and dangerous consequences for officers on the street. When officers are vilified, demonized, or used as political props, it fuels hostility, emboldens bad actors at risk. And they call on leaders to stop inflammatory language and respect the legal and investigative process. Seems like a very, very common sense statement. Hey, we got to do. Stop calling.
See, I bookmarked that because I was like, this seems like a very normal statement, and it seems like the police might try to stand behind the feds being attacked. But then we had that Nick Sortor video come out today, and I was like, all right, I see the game they're playing.
Right. So we'll get to that in just a minute as far as the response, the actual response to this. I'll say this though, man. Federal agents, I think they've had enough of this shit. I think more than anything, this is a boiling point to where people are just tired of this nonsense. Did you see the video of there was a vigil set up, a candlelight vigil set up outside of the ICE place, and here comes a federal agent who's like, man, fuck this.
Really?
Went over
fucking punk? That's what you're gonna fucking do?
What?
Do you know what the fuck is that for? What is that for?
Back up.
What is that for?
Back up.
What is that for?
Back up.
You're gonna push me? What is that for?
Back up.
What was that
I don't
for?
give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck about
Back
her?
up. Bro.
This is why we're here.
Back up.
This is why we're here.
Back up.
What's her name? Renee Good?
Back up.
And you fucking, that's a memorial to her. That's a memorial to her. No, it's good.
They ain't playing this shit anymore. They're done.
Yeah. I mean, normally I'd be like, probably doesn't look that great to be kicking over some candle on a memorial. But at this point, like, why would anyone care? Like, it's been normalized to dehumanize people on the right for ages. Law enforcement has been dehumanized for ages. They've done nothing but call for violence, call for wanting us dead. People have been elected in Virginia that have openly said that they want to see Republicans die, that they would shoot Republicans over actual fascists. So, like, why would we care? This is the, like, they don't give a shit about optics anymore. They almost had someone on their side die, and they're supposed to feel bad for the would-be murderer at this point?
Let's play alternate timeline. Craig, what do you think? Had she actually run him over, how much celebrating would you see? How much would she be a hero to that crew?
She would be a martyr. She'd be just like she's become, oh my gosh. But here's the thing. Did you know that apparently, like, yesterday in Minnesota, there were 3 other incidents where ICE agents were hit by cars?
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah. So you didn't hear about those, did you? Right. This is just, yeah. Like, that's the thing. Apparently there were like 5 nationwide. 3 of them took place in Minnesota, like, just yesterday.
That's wild.
So yeah, like, or like, that's fucked up that they have to go out there and have to worry about being hit by fucking cars. And I think that's the thing that's been most amazing is, like, well, she was unarmed. No, she wasn't.
A vehicle. How much does that weigh, bro?
Right. She's in a 4,000-pound vehicle.
We need common sense assault vehicle control.
Crazy. We'd ban all cars. But we talk about the rhetoric here, the rhetoric that's being pushed about law enforcement and how police and ICE agents have been just negatively portrayed by the media for all this nonsense, and people are just tired of it. But I'll tell you someone who has been pushing this rhetoric, Jimmy Kimmel, who is probably one of the most broken people I've ever seen. Don't tell me that this rhetoric isn't extreme when you see him say something like this.
I know what they're doing. They're trying out a new slogan. Donald J. Trump is going to kill you. It's pretty good, right?
That is not
After
AI.
all the shit that he said about like Charlie Kirk and him losing his show and then somehow getting it back, why would anyone take this individual seriously?
Yeah.
Right. It's like if anyone was celebrating a death of the death of Charlie Kirk, why would we then be expected to empty out tons of empathy for this woman who was going to run over an agent who's trying to get people deported correctly because they're stealing from people there?
I am so tired of seeing this. And he, by the way, he continues here. He'll play the victim here. It's all broken. And by the way, listen, in Phoenix, you'll be able to talk about this. Listen to the response, and because I am guaranteeing this is canned, meaning that it is added. It's almost like a laugh track on TV. Pay attention.
Right? This maniac, he isn't just killing people overseas. An ICE agent today shot and killed an unarmed 37-year-old woman during an ICE operation in Minneapolis. They're there under the guise of protecting us. And of course, our president weighed in with compassion. He wrote, "I've just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator. And the woman driving the car, this is the woman who was killed, was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense." Now, I saw this video. It didn't look like anybody got run over to me. It looked to me like a woman got scared, tried to drive away, and they shot her. That'll be for the court to decide. Well, the mayor of Minneapolis, though, had this to say.
They are already trying to...
Once again, going back to the rhetoric of all this. Blabs, have you seen this?
I've seen bits and pieces of this already, yeah.
Have you seen the Jimmy Kimmel monologue, though?
No, I'm kind of wondering what happened before he was pulling up that red shirt. I want to see like the whole thing.
Well, he's going to pull up another shirt here in just a second.
Oh, good. There's more shirts.
Yeah.
This is like actually angering because the only reason he's doing stuff like this, like he's not dumb. He is not someone I would give the benefit of he's just being retarded. He is a willful, malicious liar. And it's because he's part of the media apparatus that was able to tell people how and what to think for so long. And his reign of power is being usurped by just like random who the fuck are we on YouTube, right? And he doesn't like that and he wants power back. And the only way to get that is if the left actually gets what they want. And so it's just infuriating to see him stand up on television and lie about these things and know people will eat it up. And it's like, even if he showed direct proof that contradicted his lies would still reach people. And even with the evidence in front of them, they would still believe him over what their eyes are seeing.
So, let's go and continue here because I do have more to this whole thing. So let's see where this goes.
Spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull. This was an agent recklessly...
How about you eat another bowl of Somalian slop, Mr. Frey?
Phoenix, did you hear the clapping there?
I did.
Let's just go and play through it a little bit more and want to hear if you think it's canned or not.
Using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
That was the shirt I want to see. To ICE. Get the out of Minneapolis. Get the out of
All right, so that's it. You think that was authentic or you think it was canned?
I feel like it's canned. Most of those shows have a lot of canned laughter, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll use other sections of where there was. Yeah, it's a tough call. Look, all of those people are on the same side, so it wouldn't shock me anytime you see massive rhetoric that they're going to be extremely excited. They also have the stupid applause thing to look at too. So it's hard to say. It wouldn't shock me either way.
I saw this morning, and I was like, I was honestly shocked, and I put a tweet saying, if you would have told me this is AI, I would have believed you, but it's not, right? Like, that's amazing here, and I'm actually kind of amazed that I asked Grok if he could be sued, because that is just like seems like such a defamatory statement about something. Right? But apparently, no.
You can file that under. I imagine it's comedy, it's humor, it's spoofing,
a satirical monologue.
Yeah.
Here. So fall under First Amendment over here. Just saying that, and that's crazy.
But they're not stupid, because that image. For that side, they get to just see that image without even any context. And that's what that side is very good at. They're very good at spreading their message very effectively, because that side basically only looks at an image and then makes an opinion. They only look at a headline and make an opinion. So these things matter.
Legit question. If you were to... He has this shirt that says Donald J. Trump is going to kill you, right? And this is based off of the reason why it's protected is because it's satire, right?
Yeah.
And public figures, you have to prove actual malice. Okay. I don't know if there's anything more damaging than saying somebody is going to kill you. So hypothetically, if somebody was to make a shirt that said Jimmy Kimmel is going to fuck kids, right? And put that shirt out there, could he sue? Because, that's the exact same thing. It's satirical. It's funny, right? But and he's a public figure. Could you do that?
I mean, I would say it was just as funny as his shirt, which it's not, but it would be funny as a retort to his shirt.
I think it just comes down to your lawyers, but you would be technically, I think you would be technically in the right.
I think that maybe by the end of the show, I should put together a shirt that says Jimmy Kimmel's going to fuck kids or something like that. Maybe we can make it available. We'll make it a red shirt with that white font just like that, and we'll make it available over at sidescrollersmerch.com. All right, what about the response just across celebrities? Anyone familiar with Simu Liu? Blabs, you know Simu Liu?
Yeah, Shang-Chi, these nuts. Yeah.
Oh, he's okay, I remember him. I remember him. We talked about him before.
Yeah.
The one who makes everything about race.
That's right. This is the this guy right here. He is over on X still. He had
God.
His Phoenix is powering down right here.
Yeah.
Beyond appalled at the murderous actions of ICE agents in Minneapolis, don't be manipulated by rhetoric. There's a video. And it clearly shows the murder of an unarmed woman driving away. Immigration laws can be enforced in a dignified way. Fuck ICE forever. Here. As you know, he's been pointed out by several people that she spent the day stalking and harassing ICE agents, parked the car perpendicular. But this is the narrative that they're going to push here. Patton Oswalt came in.
He is fucking psychopathic.
He says, thank God the brave ICE officer took down this crazed, dangerous criminal. So this is the woman.
He's trying to be sarcastic, but instead he's just right.
Yes. 100%. I don't know if you guys know who Mina Kimes is. She is a sports lady, and she does the NFL on ESPN. That's her right there. She said, the ghouls on this app are reacting the way you'd expect, but they're not real people. Real people, your neighbors, friends, anyone with a conscience, see this and feel angry and sad. Real people know it's wrong.
What's a little crazy to me is they try to tap into everyone's empathy, and they know that the majority of Republican politicians in power will immediately bend the knee and just shed empathy everywhere, like they did with condemning the, group chat, dark, edgy jokes. But it's if these people were to get what they wanted, they would indiscriminately kill the people against them, but it would be a good thing because they're doing it to people that they have marked as like Nazis or fascists. And so they have given themselves the moral go-ahead that it's okay to do those things to those people. But if they defend themselves because they're the bad people, that's not okay. We need to squash out any kind of defense we possibly can. Bad people aren't allowed to defend themselves.
Well, there's more here. I talked about Mina Kimes. What about the host of Jeopardy, Ken Jennings? Huh?
What the fuck?
Yeah. He came out and said the, quote, prosecute the former regime at every level candidate has my vote in 2028. America is always like, okay, but the next regime change will work. But like when I, quote, cut out carbs briefly in January here. So
what is he even talking about?
What's that, Blabs? I'm sorry.
I said, notice how he puts it on Blue Sky.
Well, of course. Yeah. So there's that. If you ever want to feel good about Jeopardy, now you can. And Blabs, we'll see how this goes. John Cleese, Blabs.
Oh no!
Oh no, John Cleese is a fucktard.
Yeah, I know, but it's always tragic. He's
Oh,
funny.
fuck him. Fuck him.
Okay.
John,
Frankly speaking, he's pretty old. Not really my type.
responding to Elon Musk tweet, Elon Musk saying she tried to run people over, and this is courtesy of whatever this is. Says, Elon, you are living proof that a high IQ is nothing to do with a high EQ. Here.
Well, it's a good thing that EQ isn't real and is just something to try and browbeat the people that they dislike into showing empathy to people who don't deserve it.
Does that make you feel sad, Blabs, knowing that John Cleese is...
I didn't even know what the fuck EQ meant. I just Googled it. Emotional intelligence, basically. So I guess I have none. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm disappointed, but not shocked. They're all the same celebrities, so...
It's really easy, just as a reminder to everybody. If you're all like your boy Phoenix, all of this is gone tomorrow. All of it. Because I support none of these assholes. Not one of them. I don't buy anything. Don't watch any of this shit. This can go away tomorrow. Stop giving them your money and stop giving them your attention. But for fucking real, do it. Like, actually stop. This is done in a day. It's just done. God damn it.
I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry.
No worries. No worries.
Phoenix dropped the bomb, and now we're like, yeah, that's it.
It was a good bomb.
Well, we have more here from, I don't know if you're familiar with Stephen A. Smith. He is a sports guy who has his own show on YouTube as well. He's the most popular guy on ESPN. And a lot of people say that he potentially could be the next Democratic nominee for the presidency.
Oh, boy.
But I'll tell you this about Stephen A. Smith. I think he's a classic Democrat, if that makes sense. Now, he has his statements on race and things like that, but when you hear him speak, he does a pretty good job of articulating his thoughts, as you would expect as a commentator. But here he is.
I saw the video on numerous occasions. And seeing what transpired, from a lawful perspective, as it pertains to a law enforcement official, don't expect him to be prosecuted. He was completely justified. From a humanitarian perspective, however, why did you have to do that?
What?
If you could move out.
By all means, go ahead.
Someone's going to try to harm me. Yeah, I'm going to defend myself. What in the fuck?
Yeah, and this is where things get blurry for a lot of these folks. Is, you know, what's the old saying? Facts don't care about your feelings, right?
Yeah,
It's
and I want
maybe like the Kyle Rittenhouse situation all over again, where he was completely justified in shooting people in a mob trying to run him down and beat him. And one of them, I think more than one maybe, had a gun. I can't remember at this point. But it's just like he was 100% justified in what he did. And the fact that he was dragged around as much as he was just insane to see.
Phoenix?
Yeah, I would say real quick, if anyone's on the fence over this, a really great, I'm sure there's a million other great videos out there. The one I would strongly suggest is go over to Tim Pool, watch the video he made where he is showing you how the tires were spinning out, that there was ice, and thankfully there was ironically, that it was ice, that the tires were spinning. So you're hearing this when he's literally in front of the car. And if it wasn't for that ice, if that was just a regular road, good chance he is completely flattened. So I would go and check that out for another perspective on this, because if you put yourself in their shoes, who have seen, I think this guy, I think you even said was hit by a car too, that when you're in front of a car and you're hearing tires peeling out in front of you, yeah, that's a very different. It's very easy for us to look at a video and go like, well, I think he should have just, jumped out of the way. But it's another thing to be in that situation and also be aware of what that side has been doing to people, and that violence is something that's very, very much a real thing. So you have to stop. I'll remove the word you have to. I understand how potentially going to that conclusion would make sense for an officer in that situation.
And I really hate how, like, whenever someone on their side fails to exact an attack on someone, they all just start trying to screech how that person was the victim. I mean, it was the same, like, with my cancellation campaign as well. They failed to do the kind of damage that they wanted to do, and then all of them ran around and started claiming that they were the victims. That's just what happens. You can even see in the video that, like, the officer gets bumped by the vehicle. Again, thankfully that ice was on the ground, so that she didn't actually peel out into him. And that's something Osmongold mentioned in his recap of the situation as well.
Well, truth doesn't matter to a lot of these folks.
It doesn't.
It's just one of those things that's conveniently in the way. So, anyways, he asks why do you have to do that? It's like, well, because she was gonna run me over. That's why.
Yeah,
that's right. Disregard all that other thing. So, our vice president chimed in here based off of the other angle that you were talking about, Phoenix, the angle that you actually see the officer get hit, which it's like indisputed. Here's this angle that you were talking about, Phoenix.
A high angle, right?
Yes, the high angle right here, as we JFK the shit out of this, which it is totally unnecessary. See him right there. Literally gets bumped off. Literally bumped off right there.
And then again, though, you have to add. I was just going to say real fast. What you have to add to that is when you go from the other angle, from behind the car, you're seeing the cars, the wheels actually pointed towards him, and they're spinning. So even before it hits him, he's hearing the car revving up and peeling out with him in front of it.
Well, that's once again facts, and that's really hard for people to understand there, Phoenix. That's tough. Well,
and
JD,
where you see the shots as well, the first shot is directly in the front of the windshield. He wouldn't have been able to hit that from the side, because there's some people saying like, oh, he shouldn't have shot because he jumped out of the way, and it's like the first shot was when he was still in front.
I'm honestly amazed to see how quickly this narrative has been spun by, like it goes back to a lot of things we talk about, like the victimhood mentality of like, this is a lady who was apparently following these people around all day, getting in the way of law enforcement, and now she has become the martyr for these folks.
I'm not surprised at all, because these are people who want ICE dead. They want people like you and I dead. And if we defend ourselves, that's a bad thing.
We'll get to that as well here in a second. But JD Vance, our vice president, says, correct, you can accept that this woman's death is a tragedy while acknowledging that it's a tragedy of her own making.
Yes.
Don't illegally interfere in federal law enforcement's operations and try to run over our officers with your car. It's really that simple.
And people have been posting around like how she has a 6-year-old child or some shit. And it's like, okay, well then why was she out there stalking ICE, trying to do these kinds of things, putting herself in danger when she has a child to care about? It makes me think of that like fucking heat map again, where leftists like don't put any priority on their family and their heat map is like all out in the boonies. And then the Republican heat map is like completely opposite or whatever, or conservative heat map. And it's just like she put more care into the Somalians in Minnesota, which she was new to the area. She was apparently from Colorado and had Missouri plates on her car. So she was new to the area, but she was still prioritizing protesting, having Somalians stealing from the people of Minnesota deported over her own 6-year-old child. Why would we feel bad about that? In any other instance, we'd be calling her a terrible fucking mother and saying someone should call CPS.
Well, maybe one of her kids was at the daycare. One of the Somali daycares.
The clearing center.
Yes. That's wildly unfortunate to think about. But all right, and we will continue because it hasn't all been just silliness. It hasn't all been insanity. Adrian Curry, who was on America's Next Top Model, talked about like the response to this and the overwhelming response we've seen from everybody going out and trying to stop these raids and the response. She said over on X says, I did not like Bush or the war. I did not stand in front of military bases using my vehicle to disrupt deployment, stalking troops as they made their way to the airfield. Logic, reason, common sense, it's gone. People act like they are playing a video game or in a movie with the way they behave. Zero self-preservation. Is this MK Ultra shit? Have people just lived such coddled lives that they don't even begin to think of possible repercussions of insane actions? What is even happening? People are mentally breaking in half.
I think the easiest explanation is that we've been talking about how a lot of leftists live in a just completely different reality from the rest of us.
Yeah.
Facts don't matter to them. Seeing things with their eyes don't matter. They will twist it, they will ignore it, and they will always make everything fit their narrative. And there's people on our side who keep saying, racist has lost its meaning, Nazi has lost its meaning, calling someone a fascist has lost its meaning. It absolutely has not. And people saying those things, I think, do not understand where we are. To the people on the left who are acting like this, who are propagandized, who are being used as useful idiots, those words are very real to them. They see you as a target. They might not see you necessarily as literally Hitler, but you've been called a Nazi. And if you've been called a Nazi to that leftist, you are one. There is nothing you can say or do that will remove that label from you. And if you are a Nazi, you must die. That is just the case with these people. And so if you can't convince them that a normal average person isn't a Nazi, isn't a fascist, isn't a white supremacist, and they believe that wholeheartedly, they are going to believe that everything they do is good. They are the anti-fascist freedom fighters liberating people from an oppressive Nazi regime, liberating people from just average people like us who they think in their warped minds are going to be running around on the streets like helping ICE or collecting people or just trying to execute leftists. So they have to get to us first before that happens in their mind.
That's scary.
It is scary because, like, how do you reason with that? How do you live like that? And it reminds me of I can't pronounce his name, but like the Asin Rathu guy in not Nepal, but another like monk area over there. And he was talking about Islam and how it was transforming his country. And he was like, you can have all the kindness in your heart, but you can't lie next to rabid dogs. And I think about that every time I encounter somebody who has been rabidly propagandized, and you can't reach them. You can't show them facts. You can't have a conversation. Even if they post something that completely opposes what they're saying, they still believe in their narrative. Other people still believe in the narrative. There's just, it feels like a hopeless situation to try and like reach across the aisle anymore.
What's the next step here? Right? When you have two blatant realities, like there's this reality that believes in law and order, and then you have this reality that doesn't feel like law and order should apply to them and that they are doing justice and they're the freedom fighters, right? How is this solved? Is this solved? Will this ever be solved?
There's only one outcome.
I don't think we can say it on YouTube.
There's only one outcome, and that is the inevitable.
Is that Tim Pool's solution?
Not a solution. It is just the inevitable. We're arguably already in it. It's already happening.
I mean, we've been in it for ages. It's just been in a cold culture war, and then they started escalating to actually killing people.
Well, in a perfect world, if we had, where I could maybe see that this kind of derails a little bit is if there was a booming economy, if we were hitting nothing but success, then our side won the culture war. I could see this kind of getting phased out a little bit because then all of your media empire, everything, all the narrative kind of starts to go towards another direction. And it's not constantly gaslighting that community, which keeps stoking the flames. Maybe there, but unfortunately our economy is not booming and we're not seeing a lot of success. So what does that breed? Nihilism. And when people are nihilistic and they don't feel like they've got anywhere to go and they see you as the problem, whoops, not good.
And on top of that, like, this is why I keep saying politicians need to stop caring about optics at this point. Because if we want to avoid what is likely inevitable, the only way to do that is to have the federal government come in, remove activist judges, remove the corrupt politicians that inflame this kind of violent rhetoric and cheer it on. And that is ultimately a very overreach of power thing to do, and it's going to be decried very, very harshly. But how else would we be able to get out of what feels like an almost civil war situation, right?
Well, rhetoric will not help here. And this type of rhetoric does not help at all from Jimmy Kimmel, which is why, as presenting the story, I have gone on our store and made the Jimmy Kimmel store.
Oh boy.
The Jimmy Kimmel is gonna diddle kids shirt that you can pick up right now over at sidescrollersmerch.com only today, before I get a cease and desist from ABC telling us that it's bad. And I can do this because this is satirical here, which is great. So go pick it up at sidescrollersmerch.com only today.
Only today, 24 hours.
That's right.
I think the worst thing about that shirt is that it's not going to cause any more harm to Trump necessarily. But if there's a Trump supporter on the streets, if they have if there's a brave person still wearing like a Trump hat or a Trump sweatshirt or something in current year, that makes them a target, because someone who's been propagandized is going to see that and be like, this person supports a man that literally wants me dead. So it is justified and it is good, and I am morally correct in killing this person first.
Well, I think that I'm morally correct for letting everybody know they can buy this satirical t-shirt over at sidescrollersmerch.com. Go pick it up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel's going to diddle them kids, man.
I don't know. I'm just saying, if he can go out and say things like this and it's protected under the First Amendment, I absolutely can do these things, right? So thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, all right. I should change it to Kittle Dids. No. I think it's all, whatever.
Your heart, man.
That's right. Okay, real quick. Matt Hatter says, is work canceled too? Not like there are any daycares there. That's right. Thank you, Matt Hatter. We will, Haxton Slay says, I want the red shirt. Well, you got it. It's right there, ready to go. You can pick it up right now today only, which is just wonderful. And we will scroll some of the other supers at the bottom of the screen like Blabs has already been doing. You guys have been great. Just know we truly can't do the show without you guys, and we appreciate it. Once again, a quick reminder that if you head over to rumble.com/sidescrollers and you hit the follow button, when we get to 100,000 followers over on Rumble, Phoenix is going to show you his feet in true VTuber way.
And well worth it. Well worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, very worth it.
Corona Soul came in with a $20 tip. Says, if I had a choice between staying at home and letting the commies destroy my child's future or leaving my kid home to fight the commies to make a better future for my child, I'll leave my child at home. Change commie to Nazi, and that's why that mother left her child at home. Thanks, Corona Soul. And Emperor Creatine says, Democrats started the first Civil War. It only makes sense they'd start the second. By the way, did you know Nicolas Maduro had a children's cartoon made about him? He's a superhero. Super bigate. Nice. All right, Phoenix. We'll see you in just a minute. All right. Lots of layers to this. And we talked about the response to the Minnesota shooting. Now I want to talk about some of the propaganda that has just been thrown out there and the misinformation that we've seen. from various media outlets, not just the mainstream media, but also over on X. Did you see this from the @ProudSocialist handle here? Another horrifying image out of Minneapolis. Look at the terror on the man's face as the federal agent points his gun at his face and threatens his life. Enough is enough. Our government is committing war crimes abroad and murdering and terrorizing citizens at home. We need a revolution. Blabs, what do you think of this image?
I've actually seen the full video, so it's totally just, it's a great photo op.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here it is. The full image. I mean, it's a great photo op, except here's what actually happened. He gets pushed. Oh, what is he doing right there?
He's trying to steal the gun.
That's right. That's right. Trying to take the gun, and then guess what? He gets popped in the face with not even a real gun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was surprised that was just some sort of like paintball kind of thing and not an actual firearm.
I think yeah, go ahead.
Just anyone who reaches for a gun like that, like you've just kind of forfeited anything from that point. Like you don't know.
Yeah, I agree. But hey, look at how he was so scared. He was so scared because he's afraid he's gonna get popped because he knows that's what's gonna happen if he starts.
Well, I mean, he would have done the same thing if he had managed to get the gun away from the guy, right?
1,000. But why do you reach for something if you're not going to use it? Right?
It's bad that he defended himself once again.
That's right. Well, the narrative was quickly pushed out by the usual suspects over here. The term that we saw over and over again was, quote, legal observer to the ICE situation. And you saw this by all your favorite politicians and political pundits over here. Legal observer, legal observer, legal observer. It's almost like they got the marching orders. This is the narrative we're going to push. But
legal
there's more.
Observer sounds like some fucking sovereign citizen speak, man.
Oh, there's more. As it sounds very high and mighty. But Andrew from Don't Walk Run over on YouTube saw this. Note the language that the left uses in regards to describing Renee Good. I've never heard this term before, but listen to this.
No audio.
If you can. Damn it. All right, hold on. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but that's all right. We'll get it. This is very important that you hear the weird verbiage here.
Still
about 9:50 a.m. We first heard about this incident about 9:50 a.m. local time. That's when an ICE verifier, that's a community member here in Minneapolis, let us know, shot us a text message letting us know that a American citizen was shot and killed. Another ICE verifier was shot and killed right over there. If you don't mind panning over, Marco, and showing where the crowd is.
What'd you hear there?
ICE verifier?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're using that ICE verifier terminology because the main rhetoric they've been using is that masked men have been spiriting away people off the streets. They've been kidnapping people. So how do we even know that these are actually ICE agents? They're masked, they're scary, and they're just kidnapping people. So now when you have that rhetoric already built and then you start saying ICE verifiers, you're like, these people were here to make sure it was actually ICE agents doing their job and not just some random guys kidnapping.
I've never heard that phrase before.
Oh, of course not.
And it's this idea like it's a job, like you've been given this job as an ICE verifier. Like, what are we doing here? It's how silly. But the response has been, well, I'll tell you what. Let me just let this dude yell at you for a little bit of everything. This has been the hyper emotional.
Dude.
Well, I'll let you be the judge. Damn it.
No audio.
Fucking video. The news is gonna say she tried to ram them. She most certainly did not. They ran in her car, holding onto their guns, and then they shot her when she tried to drive away. She wasn't trying to ram anyone. She was trying to get away from a dangerous situation, and now she's fucking dead.
This is so forced.
Yeah.
I'm with you on this.
This has got some real Chris Chan energy to it.
Oh no! Give him the medallion.
Just some fat guy who wants to cosplay as a woman over here. It's going crazy. Yeah, very leave Britney alone. That's right, Psychic in the chat. Do you want to? Well, no, it doesn't matter what else he says. But then there's here, which, by the way, I want to show this one here. This is a guy on a soapbox out in the neighborhood. At about 57 seconds in, I just want to see if you pick up on anything that he says.
Just like with George Floyd. We not gonna, what? We gonna tear this motherfucker up. That's what the fuck has to happen. Does anybody know why we're given the Second Amendment right? Google it. It's to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. That's true. The police are supposed to be on our side, fighting, pointing their guns at the fucking government. It's the facts. It's not for hunting. It's not for self-defense. It's to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. It don't get no worse than this.
That's crazy that they start using that talking point when they want to exact violence. Like, again, I hate that the radical left has made me defend the fucking feds. It's not, I hate having to say the feds did nothing wrong. That's fucking wild. Why are they like this?
Right. Let's see where else this guy goes, because in my mind, I think he loses all credibility here in about 20 seconds.
Fuck!
I know that's right.
What the fuck? I have a little baby. I have a little fucking baby, man. And it's like I had to adopt her to protect her from this shit.
What?
You put a baby to my gun's head? You put a gun to
By the way,
I'm confused.
Ban high capacity assault babies.
but there's a little bit more here.
You put a baby to my gun's head? You put a gun to my baby's head? I'm gonna hurt somebody.
Here it comes.
That's what they're doing to us. I'm not Hispanic. I'm black.
What? What?
I'm Somalian.
That part caught me off guard here. Doesn't look very black.
He doesn't. Mulatto. What is he talking about?
Maybe he's like 25% black. We don't know.
I mean, he looks like the whitest guy I know. He looks like what's the guy from the Kevin Smith movies, the Shady J or whatever his name is?
Jay, you're talking about Jay.
Yeah, Jay from Silent Bob. That's right. It looks like an overweight version of Jay.
Bougies. Yeah,
that's right.
I have a friend who got like his ancestry results back, and he's like 0.2% Ashkenazi Jewish, and he's like, I'm gonna use the Jew card so much now.
I got it. Well, I mean, I think that's where well, actually, I want to play that out because you want to see how people respond to him saying that. Because I just, in no mind, I don't know. I feel like I can look at him and be like, that's probably not a black guy, but that's just me.
That's what they're doing to us. I'm not Hispanic. I'm black. I just be sitting home, smoking my weed, enjoying my money. But I'll.
By the way, way to stereotype.
Yep, way to go.
It's almost the same cadence as Nuka Zeus now that I'm listening to it.
Amazing stuff. But yeah, way to stereotype there, guy.
Die about this shit. I don't have no quality of life left. If you think you do, you're fucking nuts. We don't have no quality of life left. My wife is a documented. She has her work permit. It's legit. She won't go to work.
Okay.
What?
So what he's saying is like, my wife is illegal, but she has the ability to work. That's what he's saying here.
Well, then she has to go home. You can go with her if you want.
That's right. Hopefully they put their kids at the Learning Center, which is good for them during the day.
They're taking people that have documents. They're taking kids. They're doing all, you guys, this is where the world ends. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. They go snatch the president of Venezuela, but our fucking president is a sex offender. Yeah. Why are we not the White House dragging him out? Why his fucking collar? That's what we gotta do, you guys, the White House. This is only gonna go so far. This is bullshit. This is.
All right, so there you go.
What's even crazier is that he's allowed to say this shit and nothing bad will happen to him. But if anyone on our side even like hinted at something like, oh, let's paintball a politician's house or something, like we would just be vilified everywhere. We'd lose our jobs. We'd be black marked from everything. Like insanity.
Well, Tectone had a tweet about this. He said they laughed when Charlie got shot for speaking his mind, but they're losing their mind when a woman got shot for trying to run over an officer. Don't forget this. We are not the same.
100%.
This guy Maine over here has a little bit of perspective on it. The left, it's murder. Right, it's domestic terrorism. The reality is that two humans panicked in a high pressure situation where so many things could have and should have been gone differently.
Well, that's how I play. But I've every time there's a situation like this, just in general, a hot button political issue, I do my best to try to think about if this was my side. So if this was during the Biden administration, Lord knows we saw plenty of violence in us again when in that administration. But had this been reversed, I really asked myself, what would be my outcome? And I think I probably, being somewhat biased, I probably would have come at the same conclusion of, hey, that looked like he was a little trigger happy. I'm trying to be as honest as I can. I go, maybe he was a little trigger happy. But what I would have 100% said was, well, unfortunately, that person put themselves in that situation, though. That if you just stopped the vehicle and got out when they're asking you, if you just you say, okay, I'm going to come out, this 100% is avoided. But you put yourself in a situation where there's guns, there's some hot shit going on right there. Not the best time to try to peel out, whether or not you were trying to hurt anyone. That's unrelated. That's how I even look at it. No matter how I look at this, the driver is at fault. No matter how I look at this, for me personally.
Regardless of her intent, like you said, even if she wasn't purposefully trying to run him over, she was just trying to escape. He was still in front of her vehicle. She still accelerated with him in front of the vehicle. She still was going to hit him. Like you can't really talk your way around that if you're going to focus on the facts.
Mm-hmm. Well, this guy actually, and by the way, this is not a dude that I'll let his profile speak for himself here. He says he is a proud, foundational Black American. All right, whatever. Hashtag Black America first. But even he has to say this here. In volume.
Lady that lost their life.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm not gonna argue with y'all tonight, but I do know one thing. Y'all don't care about y'all kids enough like I care about mine. I'm not putting my life on the line for no stranger. I got somebody depending on me. My family's depending on me to come home every day. I'm not putting my life on the line for no strangers, yet alone people that's not even from here. If somebody told me ICE is coming to my city, which has already happened, I'm staying out the way. What do I look like going in the streets trying to protect people that's not even from here? Or whatever the situation is. They could be from here. I'm still not protecting a stranger in general. I got people depending on me. Don't forget that. So in this situation, they say, ICE is coming to your city in Minneapolis to figure out what's going on with this Somali fraud. Thank you. Why in the world would I need to hit the streets and stop that?
Yeah, right? Exactly. Thank you. That white bitch crazy. I agree.
I know people don't like it when I say it. A lot of time it comes back to the white liberal woman, right? And that's kind of where this is at, man. It's these people who are governed by emotion versus facts. And I don't know, this guy's cooking here. Let's give him a little bit more.
I don't know. I just know it don't seem like y'all care about y'all kids enough. I don't need my child to be fatherless. And I definitely don't need him to understand that he lost his father because his father was out there defending Somalis.
Kind of based.
Crazy, and I agree. I don't know what Black Americans first means. I probably wouldn't agree with other things he says, but he's absolutely 100% correct here.
I think that's the other thing. It's like, well, she was a mom. Well, then she should have been taking care of her kid.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Like, it's crazy that people are trying to use that as like a point against like us saying, it's her fault that she's in this situation. It's like she should have thought of her own kid, right? That's not our problem.
Agreed. Then there's this one last little bit here. As I know, we've been talking about this pretty much all day. I feel like we need to expand the show out to about 14 hours talking about this stuff because there's so much.
I feel the same way sometimes.
This guy nails it here. And as soon as I turn up the volume.
Ashley Babbitt. Y'all just spent all yesterday, January 6th, talking about Ashley Babbitt. If she didn't put herself in that situation, she'd be here today. And now that lady in Minneapolis that unfortunately put herself in a situation that cost her life, now that is murder. That is terrible. We need to do something about this. There needs to be accountability. Now it's an issue.
And let's remember that Ashley Babbitt looked through a window.
Yeah.
That's what she did. She looked through a window.
And it's like it's sad that this woman had to lose her life, but she put herself in that situation. She attempted to hit the ICE agent, whether deliberately or because she's trying to flee getting arrested. She still was going to hit him. She did bump him with her vehicle. He shot from the front of the vehicle while being hit. It's like I really don't understand how anyone could argue differently unless they are just completely outside of reality.
Well, I think that's where. I think they're in their own reality. We kind of talked about this. I think that they honestly believe that she's the victim here, as far as it was not provoked. She just had her car perpendicular in the middle of the road, blocking the convoy. Who the fuck cares? Who cares? Like.
It's like, once again, they just twist things even if the evidence is in front of them. Like I tried to engage in good faith with people saying that I was mocking George Floyd's death, and I was like, no, he didn't have to die. He shouldn't have died. He wasn't a good person, and I mock the people trying to idolize him. And it doesn't matter that I say that. They continue the narrative that I mock his death and I celebrate his death, which is weird because I never have. And they're going to do the same thing with this lady. Anyone who pushes back against their nonsense outside of reality narrative is going to be default celebrating that she died somehow.
Right. I want to talk about the response to this, is specifically today, with the time we have left. But I do want to point out, give it up for Monkey, who came in once again with more Bitcoin. Let's stink and go.
Crazy.
0.00001648 Bitcoin tipped to us. That is outstanding. And hey, here's another sweet animation for that on Rumble Water. That's nice. Also, Ken came in with 10 gifted Rumble Preemies over there. Thank you very much, Ken. If you guys got to get the Rumble Preemie, make sure you say thank you.
Hey, bro.
Guts came in, says, living in the UAE with family, the thing here is any immigrant does anything, it's shut down. They are deported in the same day. They get a lot of criticism by the West for being harsh, but man, the streets are clean. Go ahead. Well, then read it, Bob. So I'm underwater.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fix it in the background. Living in the UAE with family, the thing here is any immigrant does anything, it's shut down. They are deported in the same day. They get a lot of criticism by the West for being harsh, but man, streets are clean.
And we should be just like that. It's insane that we're not.
I 1000% agree. You come to our country, you play by our rules, you break the rules, get the fuck out.
And I was even saying recently with all of the illegals and even some non-illegal but actual immigrants being on welfare things, that shouldn't be the case. If I tried to go to another country and I couldn't prove that I could support myself and I was going to get on benefits there, I'd be rejected. There shouldn't be a single immigrant, legal or illegal, in this country on any kind of welfare.
Man, preach. And it doesn't seem like the idea that is seen as a quote right-wing statement is insane to me. I feel like, that's this idea that defending police, having law and order is seen as a quote right-wing sentiment now, beyond me. I just truly don't understand it.
Yeah.
Ken also came in with the $50, says, sad day when you need to defend the feds because they didn't do nothing for once.
Imagine.
Yeah, we throwing out defense right there. And we'll get to the rest of your supers, direct donations, and Rumble rants. By the way, Tenarian did come in with a $20 tip with a meme. Do you want to roll that real quick, Blabs? Oh, well, hello.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Tenarian also says, it's quite impressive, drooling. Tadarian also said, looking forward to the VTuber event. Hopefully Blaz behaves herself this time. Her behavior last time was the most unprofessional and made everyone in chat very uncomfortable.
We're going to bring out the beaded necklaces. Girls gone wild, buddy.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. And a man of truth says, I do hope Kirsch. Okay, thank you very much, a man of truth. Appreciate it. Don't be weird. All right. Quick reminder before we get to the response here that in response to this entirely satirical shirt that Jimmy Kimmel has put up, many of you have already gone and picked up the today only Jimmy Kimmel shirt available over at sidescrollersmerch.com. I see it looks like 10, 12, 13 of you guys have picked it up. Make sure you guys pick up some other merch while you're there and support the show. Oh, and by the way, Phoenix, did you see the other shirt? You can pick up the go pick up your favorite shirt ever. There it is. There he goes, everybody.
The best.
The
It's the best.
Chef Boyardee.
How dare you?
Great. All right. Let's talk about the response to this, specifically to all this stuff that's happening on the ground. Nick Shirley exposed a lot of stuff being on the ground. This guy, Nick Sorter, is his name, I believe. Yes, Nick Sorter. We talked about him. He was the guy who went to the Hilton. Went to the Hilton, yep. Right. So he's already in Minneapolis. He shows up here. And he put together a 12-minute and 36-second video of his experience going to where these protests were happening. And really, you need to see about the first 10 seconds to know exactly how it's going to go. And
Here, right now!
That's what I'm saying. It's a bunch of...
They killed my fucking neighbor! Who the fuck are these Nazis? You guys are losers.
Oh, look at that fucking candy ass with the Twitch backpack.
where's the Twitch one?
It's to the left of the fuzzy hat guy. That guy in like a green hat with the stripes on it.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Well, man, yeah, there we go, right there. Good old. He's been to TwitchCon right there. Here we go.
Yep.
So, anyways, he gets berated and he gets more or less threatened. Now he went with security here. I watched most of this as he went with security, which was very, very good. They follow him the entire time, and they're calling him a Nazi, a fascist. Get the fuck out of here. They're telling him to go to his car so they can track him down. That was the big thing they wanted here. Anywhere he would go, they're following and just straight up harassing here.
Please. Wait, what are they? You said they're on.
So he calls 911, right? Kirsha, did you see the rest of this right here?
I was planning on watching this on stream tomorrow, so I haven't seen the whole thing. I read some recaps of it, and it's wild.
Yeah, so he tries to explain where he is, and they pretty much say, hey, we're not going down there. We're not going down to that area.
They ask him if he's fucking white, dude.
We're trying not. I didn't see that part where they ask him if he's white. We're trying not to get too involved. I'm sorry, police officers. That's kind of your job. And he continues. He eventually goes to the car, gets on there, and the lady says, well, hey, you need to move somewhere so we can actually respond, which, by the way, seems very counterintuitive to the idea of what a police officer is supposed to do, go to the scene of the crime, right? But whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So the Minneapolis police pretty much deny a response to him and the harassment that he saw just for going down. And he said he was there for about 3 minutes and pretty much didn't say anything before people singled him out and started harassing him. That's not a good sign.
I've been saying for a while that the police have not been for protecting the public, but for protecting the interests of the elite for a long while now. And probably since a little bit before the George Floyd riots completely took off. But the longer this kind of stuff goes on, the more obvious it becomes that police officers are not really there for you. They're there to protect the people who are in power. They are the, like, we're just following orders kind of people. And it's really sad to see. And I'm sure there are still some good officers who want to do well, but it seems like the majority have become a corrupted unit.
Well, that was last night, and this is this morning. This is one person who showed up at the anti-ICE riots in Minneapolis. And this was about a 2-minute video, but it looks like sometimes it just takes one. And this happened this morning.
Okay, let's walk him out.
You ain't bouncing me, bitch. We should go, man. We should go. Let's go. Let's go.
Grab his
Keep
arm.
your fucking hey. This is a woman, but you will get hurt, buddy. Keep your fucking hands to yourself.
Let's go, man.
Keep your fucking hands.
We're non-violent.
Let's go.
We're
Keep your fucking hands.
non-violent.
As she's grabbing him, pulling him.
And she's touching him, and the only reason, like, he even said, like, she's a woman, but you're gonna get hit, buddy. Like, the only reason she's able to do any of this is because she has the privilege of being a woman, and most men will still not be violent towards a woman. They would be absolutely demonized and lambasted if he did. So, like, again, I understand it.
Let's continue.
Peaceful.
Let's go.
Same
Let's
peaceful.
go.
Hey,
Let's go.
Patriots, get out of here. We need some backup, boys. We need some backup, boys. This is peaceful.
Boom!
Hell yeah, that's what I like to see.
That's right. I agree with you on this. This is great. So yeah, ICE came back and like, fuck you. We're done with this shit.
Reminds me of that thick punch to Moldy Locks back in the day.
Oof, it's wonderful. But there's even more. Like, these people are fucking insane when it comes to this. Your boy Asmongold responded to this directly. I wanted to play this and hear your response, because now, Phoenix, I can't wait to hear you say, here we go, because here we go.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
She's saying we're gonna get your address, we're gonna hunt you the fuck down. Like, these people are unhinged.
Yeah, yeah. Like, we're going to hunt you down.
And they absolutely feel like they're justified in saying this shit because, again, you have been labeled something like a Nazi or a fascist or whatever that marks you as an acceptable target for them to take down morally.
Asmongold's right here. This is a direct threat, death threat at federal officials, and you pussy boys are tweeting about it. This comes from right here. It says, go arrest them. What the fuck are y'all doing? The longer you let these animals run wild, the more violent and radical they will become.
I mean, what is more violent and radical than they're already killing people? Like, how much worse could it get if they've already escalated to killing people? But I completely agree with him. Like, something needs to be done. Something needs to happen. They're going to call Trump a Nazi and a fascist and a pedophile regardless of what he does. So fucking do something about this.
Well, this is like, I've been saying this forever, right? Like, so like decades at this point. I've worked in industries where you see these rabid zombies, and I would hear what they would say behind the scenes. The difference between me and everyone else is that I didn't laugh at them and joke and go, haha, look how weird they are. I treated them like the actual threat that they are and assumed that what they were saying they meant. And so while everyone was like turning their back to politics, I just want to watch my sports ball. Yeah. I just want to do this. I'm like, guys, they're gaining power. You should probably, I just want to do my thing. I just want to play games. I just want to tune out. And I'm like, guys, now they're in their politics. They're in your schools. They're in your libraries. They're in your army. No, I just want to watch my movies. I want to be left alone. Well, now here we are. And by the way, now you can't get out of it. Now we're in a serious fucking situation here. So the best thing y'all can do right now, get activated. Like now. No, I just want to watch my movie. Please stop doing that.
And I really hate, like, to build on what you said, the like, oh, I just want to grill people. It's like, you can't unless you defend your ability to grill. Like, I get it if you're trying to, like, I guess, make money off of people and you don't want to think about these things, but it's just infuriating to see people get radicalized in real time, and then the response from some people is just like, well, I just want to grill. I don't need to worry about any of this. I'm just gonna grill and not pay attention. And it's like, what the fuck do you expect is gonna happen? Like, we need normal, regular people to be paying attention, to be doing things. We can't just have like two radicalized sects doing everything. I hate it. I hate that I just want to grill people so fucking much. Defend your ability to grill or you're going to fucking lose it.
Well, we talked about creating alternatives here. That's kind of one of our missions here. Quick reminder, we have an alternative as well. You guys, this will not be available tomorrow, so go pick it up right now. The Jimmy Kimmel shirt. You can also pick up the our version of this right here, available over at sidescrollersmerch.com. It's extremely satirical, and by all, it's just a funny joke here, guys. A public figure, just a funny joke. And a lot of you guys have gone and picked it up. You will not be able to buy it tomorrow. Just a one-day only shirt. So just saying, it's just a funny joke over here. We're just having a good time. Yeah, all right. Real quick, Nathan came in and says, what's frustrating about this is that the people from Timu Tortuga are stealing their money too. There is no delusion more damaging to the brain than misplaced self-righteousness. Ooh,
yep.
Fucking fire right there. Game Hunter came in and says, Kirsha, the title of the Asmongold Kirsha JRPG has been decided. Imagine Kirsha fighting against a horny elf queen who's thirsting for Asmongold. Asmongold's VTuber Harlem is at 15, if not more. Well, now you know.
I will spear the elf queen through the heart. He is mine.
Excellent. That's important for us to establish here. Wasp says Crowder did an officer POV reenactment on his show this morning. You should really check it out sometime. I actually did see that. Crowder does a good job of. I don't watch his show very often, but he does a really good job of prepping for our show. So, Jewish as Fox says the government doesn't want you to know this, but you don't have to be Jewish to use the Jew card. Blabs, just change your profile name to something convincingly Somalian.
I like how Craig has prepared the.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Art School Dropout says, I was living in Minneapolis, St. Paul during 2020, and that fucking fray let the city burn for 4 fucking days before getting National Guard to quell the fires. Get out of here with your tough guy swearing, you retard. Thank you, Art School Dropout.
But it'll work.
Fray is like a greasy slug, and I hate everything about that man. He doesn't have the twisted duper's delight face that Mamdani does, but he's still just it makes my skin crawl when I see him.
Big thank you to somebody, I don't know who, but they came in with 15 tether monies over on. I'm sure there's an actual name for that, but thank you for your
tether money.
Well, that's their tether monies over. It's on the crypto wallet, and we appreciate that, which means it allows me to play this extremely loud notification. Excellent. Thank you for that unknown person. We genuinely appreciate your. You're
underwater.
Maybe I'm back. Yes.
Anyway, Sean for 20 says, I got a question about the Real Game Awards. I'm a voting member. How many games are allowed in the voting category? Most of them is 4, some are 5, 6. And how you guys determine which games get the nomination?
Yeah, most are. Yeah, it comes back to who saw the most nominations out of them, because there's a lot of some games just had one. So we look for people who look for games that had more nominations than others. So it's a better vote. So yeah.
Do you want me to continue?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. All right, Eric for 10 says, as ghoulish as it might be to say, these people need to be taught a lesson. They have been acting insane for years. The feds have been overly patient with these people's behavior.
Waffle.
I'll say. Let me say this real quick, and I think that's the thing that they have such a hard time realizing is it has been so laxed for so long. We say this whole thing started with Nick Shirley and the expose on the fraud. It didn't start with Nick Shirley. It started when these people were allowed to come in the country and abuse the system. So Nick Shirley just exposed it, put the spotlight on it. These people have had it way too good for way too long. And naturally, when your candy gets taken away, you're going to fight. Right? So that's, I want my candy back. Why would you take my candy away? Fuck you, you fascist.
Exactly. And I mean, even then, like there had been investigations into some of the fraud before Nick Shirley. There had been convictions for some people, and then judges in Minnesota were overturning some of those convictions.
Labs continue.
All right, Sigrid says, not saying I agree with this, but I presume the argument would be he had already jumped out of the way of the car before he shot, so he was already out of danger by the time she drove away.
But that's not even true because of where the bullet hole in the front of the windshield is, and you can see him get hit by the vehicle before he moves out of the way.
Marmalin Vatan said, we've seen a 1,140% increase on attacks ICE agents since 2024. Hearing a car engine go full rev due to her stepping to the floor, regardless of being hit before, is a terrifying situation. And then Evan says, it's officially satire, but people like my own parents treat it like news, and that's the whole point. It's not actually satire, but the point is to guide how people think, and somehow it works.
Bingo.
Yep.
Bingo.
And we're caught up, at least on
All
my
right.
end.
We have this from Adam says, we need to get an exclusive video where Kirsha teaches Blabs the ways of BDSM. Also, will there be any new merch this year? Why, yes, there is today. I still have a shirt that has Razor Fist on it and no longer part of the show. Yeah, I think merch is going to be a bigger part of what we do here. And I told this to Blabs yesterday. I got a couple new hats that I'm testing out. I know a lot of people have been asking about hats, and I think the goal potentially would be to bring merch in-house so we can control the quality a little bit better. Not to say the quality is bad because it's actually very, very good. But I want to be able to control it and send it out on our end. So Mr. Kappa says, I bet Diddy Piker would love that Somali propaganda video. Also, Tampon 10 needs to stop deflecting and own up to his own F-up. All he does is complain about Trump like an NPC instead of addressing the fraud. The idiot's still talking about January 6th. And Delta says, I was surprised how perspectives work because a friend argued, quote, the agent in the back grabbed for his gun while she stopped. I had her pull it up, and she said, she said was insane. The guy was in the front of the car and went for it as she went back from reverse to drive. Yeah. And like, I think that's the other thing is, so my wife was at a thing last night, and we are supposed to go to Minneapolis here in a few months.
Oh boy.
And I was like, I don't know if I necessarily want to, like, I told her, don't book any travel yet because I want to know if the city's going to be there. Right. And she was talking to some of the other parents, and she said, well, we're going to hold off on that because we want to see what happens in Minneapolis. And one of the guys was like, yeah, it's crazy what happened right there. This guy, the ICE agent, just straight up shot this lady in the face for like no reason. So you're in these public settings, and it's not like, I don't want to be like, well, actually, you know, and kind of correct them because you don't want to like disrupt the harmony that's in place. But it's tough because you don't want to talk about these things publicly, because when you do, you more or less make enemies based off of just pointing out facts. Well, actually, that's not what happened, and here's why it didn't happen. Whatever. Which kind of contradicts exactly what you're talking about. Anyways.
Test words.
Why does Craig always become a merman?
I don't know. Speak.
Do I at least look nice while doing it? Thank you. What do we have, Blabs? What is this from Rapid Response? What do we...
Well, Vance just announced a new thing for fraud checks.
Well, let's check it out.
I've not listened to it though. I just read the statement.
All right, here we go.
A young parent struggling to afford childcare in the United States of America, there are programs that we have to make it easier for your kids to get in daycare, for your kids to get in preschool. Those programs should go to American citizens, not be defrauded by Somali immigrants and others. Make it hard for you to get the access to the resources you need. But number two, making it easier for people who shouldn't even be in this country to fleece the United States and our taxpayers to begin with. We have actually activated a major interagency task force to make it possible to get to the heart of this fraud. We have Department of Agriculture resources that are focused on SNAP fraud so that people who need food benefits can get them, but illegal aliens and other fraudsters don't. We have over 1,500 subpoenas that the Department of Justice has issued to get to the heart of the fraud ring. We've done almost 100 indictments, mostly Somali immigrants, but also a few others. And of course, we're looking in with broad investigatory authority to a number of the instances of wrongdoing that we've seen in Minneapolis. But we also want to expand this. We know that the fraud isn't just happening in Minneapolis, it's also happening in states like Ohio. It's happening in states like California. And so what we're doing in order to help coordinate this remarkable interagency effort from the Trump administration, but also to make sure that we prosecute the bad guys and do it as swiftly and efficiently as possible, is we are creating a new Assistant Attorney General position who will have nationwide jurisdiction over the issue of fraud. Now, of course, that person's efforts will start and focus primarily in Minnesota, but it is going to be a nationwide effort because, unfortunately, the American people have been defrauded in a very nationwide way.
Hell yeah, I love to hear it. Make sure you say please and thank you to your vice president.
Yeah, I think that's great. Now, keep in mind, wasn't that kind of what Doge was supposed to be? You know,
Yeah, it was kind of what Doge was doing. They were cutting a lot of just worthless and useless positions within the government, and hopefully whatever fraud arm he's setting up is going to go even further than Doge did.
Hopefully. That'd be great. All right, that's a great place to wrap for the day. Quick reminder, you can pick up the one day only shirt in response, which is, by the way, a totally satirical shirt about a public figure that is absolutely protected under the First Amendment, over at sidescrollersmerch.com. A lot of you guys have picked it up. Thank you guys very much for picking up this one day only shirt of, just whatever, it's fine. Over at Sidescrollers Merch, which is great. Kirsten, you have merch that's coming, yeah?
I was going to release merch like in a section thing because I was waiting on something for quality for January, but then with the holidays and everything, I was like, screw it, let's just release the whole thing in January. Let's not split it up. So I will have merch releasing this month. And the reason for the delay is I wanted a genuine leather wallet, none of that faux leather bullshit. Mm-hmm. So keep an eye on my website, Kirsha.com. I'll start spinning up some promotional graphics and some shilling soon on social media. Gonna be happening soon. It's gonna be great. It's non-lewd, nothing lewd, so everyone can participate. I know people were really worried since my first drop was lewd, but that was giving people what they wanted from the Donathon. So we're gonna have some nice, delicious merch dropping this month. I'm very, very fucking excited. So Kirsha.com for all your Kirsha merch needs.
Delta came in with the 5, says, Phoenix, you pussy. You didn't call Craig a pussy for not getting into a fight with the guy saying I shot first. I'll remember this.
What?
Thank you, Delta. Sean says, second question for the best console exclusive Ghost of Antifa is in it, but only got 2 in the comments, but Kirby Air Riders was in the comments. Way more. How are you guys determine it? Like, thanks. Yeah. Kirby Air Riders was on the cut, was on the list. And you must have been one of those people who was in the comments right there for it. So yeah, I appreciate it. The answer is that's what we selected as a group. And thank you for overly counting all the comments. Appreciate it, which is great. If you'd like to put a blame on me, by all means, fire away. With that said, we try to listen directly to you guys when it comes to the Real Game Awards, as once again, we are just the arbiters of your selections right there. So with that said, we were going to get to our hot takes segment. I feel like today was filled with hot takes. Maybe we'll get to it tomorrow. Okay, Phoenix? Sounds good. Yep. All right. Everyone go to Kirsha.com, pick up some merch, head over to SidescrollersPlus.com because coming up in just a few hours here, in about 90 minutes, we're going to be live as Blabs versus Jump King is happening here at 3 o'clock Central Time. Once again, that is roughly an hour, about 100 minutes from now, live over at Side Scrollers Plus. And then next Thursday, we have a special event, a VTuber special event, as Kirsha, Leaflet, Pickle, and VTuber Blabs all joining together as they're playing Mount Your Friends in the evening.
What time is that again? Just add it, for the audience.
Yes, 6 p.m. Central Time. Yes. 6 p.m. Central Time. Thank you, Kirsha. For the audience.
No,
only
for the audience. Thank you.
Oh, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for the audience. Definitely not.
Definitely for the audience.
Yes, definitely for the audience. That's right. All right, 6 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Central time. I didn't have the top of my head, but thank you very much. All right, time to roll, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow when we're back at it with who, Blabs?
Vara and Maggie Moo 32.
Ooh, it's going to be good.
They've been alerted to do a hot take.
Right, hot takes it is. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Fatality.